Here are 4 mistakes that I see nonprofit founders make and what I recommend instead. Number 1, they don't consider if there's already a nonprofit in existence serving and providing the solution that they think that is new. As to starting a nonprofit, the paperwork part of it can be easy depending on how you go about it, but then you have to also think about the funding, the long-term sustainability of your nonprofit. So you want to look to see if there's already someone in your community serving the need already and get an understanding of what it's going to be like for you to raise funds and to raise community around your cause. Mistake number 2 is selecting bad board members. And I don't mean bad people, I mean people that are bad for the position of being on the board. Now, the skill sets that your board members have is going to depend on the type of nonprofit that you are founding, but you want people on your board who, number 1, know how nonprofit board governance works. Number 2, they're going to be willing to get down into the trenches and do the work with you. Number 3, these people should be action takers. They should have no problem being visible in the community. They should have no problem making the ask, whether that be for the money that you're raising or for volunteers, or to get in these spaces and really advocate for your cause. The third mistake that I see nonprofit founders make is that they have zero business knowledge, or they think that a small scale nonprofit will somehow excuse them from understanding basic business principles. And that's not true. Now, while you can have someone on your board who can fill in for that skill set, you as the executive director still have to, hold this skill set of being the executive director. So that essentially means the equivalent of being a CEO for a for-profit business. You need to be aware of the laws, but you also need to be aware of operational procedures. You need to understand CFO, financial obligations. You need to have an understanding of where is the money coming from? How is the money going out? You need to be aware of marketing. How are you going to get your message out? You need to be aware of branding. What are people going to see? How are they going to resonate with your nonprofit and your cause? And you need to make sure that you have thick skin, my friend. Or it's not the last mistake that I see nonprofit founders make, but it is one that is also very prevalent in this world. And it's not just nonprofit owners or nonprofit founders, but it's also people in small business as well. And that is the inability to think and plan strategically. If you've run a business before and you're now going into the world of nonprofit, then you'll see some of these similarities. But if you've never run a business before and you have the passion, this is not to deter you from considering starting your nonprofit. Strategically is important because nonprofit worlds exist in a way where you're dependent on the calendar and the schedule of grants and of sponsorships and of when other people are ready to give you their money. Conversation always goes back to the money, because how else are you going to do what you do? There are going to be deadlines and schedules for RFPs, for grants, for contracts, for sponsorships. You're going to need a lot of lead time when it comes to selling your idea, when it comes to selling your cause, when it comes to recruiting volunteers. And so you're going to need the skill set of project management, strategic thinking, strategic growth, strategic planning in order to be successful as a nonprofit leader. I'm Felicia Ford, the growth strategist for creatives, leaders, and change makers. You can follow me for more.